The property line goes down all the way to the bottom, so the doctor, my wife's father who built this was all his property, and he brought a bulldozer in back in the day and dug all this out. It was all permitted at the time. Watch your step. Coming down. It's 37 steps down to the bottom, and then it's another 17 feet underground. This is the top. I think it's like 4 feet thick. And then these different pipes. No one seems to really know what some of this stuff was for. I just had the electricity replaced, and I think they ran it up through some of these old pipes. The first guy originally put the electricity right to the pole. That was 40 years ago when you could do stuff like that, so It wasn't even metered. But now it's all been redone, so there's lights. These are air filters and stuff they sold back in the 60s for people that wanted to build these. The idea being that the radiation would, as I understand it, would lay on the ground, and then you turn the crank in the back, and I guess the fresh air would come down. It's also ludicrous.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. This is the escape hatch, and you'll see when we go inside that this goes down, I don't know, 10 feet or so, or 8 feet, and that would have all been filled with sand. And then when you get into the main chamber, there's a separate room that you would go into that could have been sealed off, and then you could climb a ladder, and then there's another opening on top where it's all bolted, and you would open that and the sand would all come down. I guess the sand would keep the radiation out. I just don't know if it's wishful thinking or...
You think?
I don't know. It's just craziness. This is the entrance here. When I bought the house, it was all nailed shut. Kids had graffitied it, and I guess it tried to break in, which I would have too, I'm sure, if I was 12 years old and found this thing in a canyon somewhere. And here's the entrance. Submarine door, I guess, that you would seal after you went down inside of it. Wow. I guess to keep the neighbors out.
Like that episode of Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's crazy. But I did put electricity in it, so we've got lights down there now. Yeah, now they're on. All right, let's go.
All right.
Oh, wow. The generator, I think, would have sat right here, and then I think these were the exhausts here for the generator. And then here's another submarine door here. I guess that you could seal this too before you go down into the main chamber. This was all a big mess. It was filled with stuff from 50 years ago, just stuff like you can't imagine. So here's the main chamber, and this wood paneling was put up in the 70s. People used it for a dark room, the previous owner. And in fact, there's still a light here, cobweb on it. So they used to develop film, so this was added and this was added. But when you look here, you get a feeling of really how stark it is with the cinder block. And then these were the closets where all the supplies were. And I've got some boxes in here now. These are for other things I own, but you can see here, this is where all the food, just, you know, it was all just glued to here from where it all exploded over the years. And I found a bottle of vodka. It's never been opened, a Smirnoff vodka that's upstairs. These are the beds. There was a crib down here because one of the girls was a baby at the time. Running water that goes out to a septic tank that I don't know where the heck that is, but I would never turn it on because I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to turn it off. And then more cupboards up there for stuff. And then in here was the bathroom. They painted like a fluorescent pink. And there's a toilet in there, once again hooked up to a septic tank somewhere. It hasn't worked in years. I don't know even how to go about fixing that thing. And that's where you would go to the bathroom while you waited for to begin.
Wow.
And then this is all stuff that I kind of saved that I thought might be interesting to people that look down here, but I don't know. Just the prices are really what's interesting. Comb set for 29 cents. Ice pick. Here's an appointment book, May 60 through April 63. It's when the thing was being built. And a pencil sharpener. And there was stuff like Brill cream and Cracker Jacks, and but most of it just disintegrated upon picking it up. It was just turned to sawdust. But this is pretty trippy. This old Sparklets water bottle. Then some pots and pans, really old stuff, never been used. Once again, here's some Nabisco chippers and carnation. I had a carton of this, but my dogs ate it. And then Durham's Rock Hard Water Putty. This is really cool, just the graphics on it. You don't see stuff like this anymore. This cost 45 cents then. And lunch bags, I guess, so the kids, when they went to school after the war, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kleenex tissues, more blades. Crest toothpaste looks the same, although it cost 83 cents back then. And just some more of this stuff, medical stuff. And once again, here's a can of instant powdered food, but once again, the key that you would insert into this metal tab and then screw it around and pop it off.
Wow.
And then this is a trip. This is the whole idea here where you would, I showed you the filters up on top, and you would feel all that cold air. So I guess they thought it was that simple, that when you needed air, you would just turn this and you'd get all the fresh air you needed. I don't know how many months they've let me down here. Family of 5. And then this is another chamber that's got a bunch of stuff in it. To the right, the light switch is broken here, but to the right and up is a 250-gallon water tank that's located in here. In fact, right here in the wall, you can see the iron I-beam that was laid into and then that goes across in there, and the water tank sits on that. But then I had a haunted house down here last Halloween with some bunch of crazy stuff. So when you point the camera up this way, you can see the ladder and the escape hatch, but you're also going to see a bunch of body parts and a bunch of fake Halloween stuff that's all stored in there.
Because this place wasn't eerie enough. Now you get body parts, and
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what it should look like. And then there's the hatch.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and you would undo that, I guess, and the sand would come down. And then you crawl out and start life anew. just the 5 of you.
Yeah, exactly.
There wouldn't be a story.
Now, this is the only bomb shelter in this area?
No. There's actually when you start talking about it, you find out there's quite a few. But,
really?
This is the largest one in California. It's supposedly, according to one of the guys that helped build it. It's a family member. Yeah, see, now I'm going to make it into I brought my slot car set down here, which my wife won't let me set up in the house. So I'm going to set it up down here.
Well, I wish everybody had a bomb shelter they could escape to.
Yeah, well, as you can tell, it lists, after 60 years, you can tell it's fallen in this direction.
And that the air is pretty stale.
What, you stale? Yeah.
No, it really is coming through.
Yeah, lots of it, but without radioactivity.
Right.
That would be very disappointing to have built this and then just pump the air in and kill everybody in here, So, yeah, so that's it. I'm glad I put electricity into it. I used to have to come in here with a flashlight, and it's kind of creepy.
I bet.
Yeah. What to do with it, I don't know. Any suggestions? Just have them. Can people contact you on YouTube?
Sure, man. They can make comments and tell you what to do with this bomb shelter.
Okay, here's the suggestions so far. Marijuana, mushrooms, wine cellar, recording studio, drum studio. None of them seem feasible, but we're still looking into all of it, so we'll figure it out.
Well, thank you very much, Ken.